Morning students. Today in this lecture we will discuss about the uh, some basic instruction sets, and then we will move to the basic programs of 8085. So in this lecture we will discuss some instruction set which we have not covered in our previous lecture. So now we will start from the some instruction sets. So first of all, there is a branch control group. So this group contains the instructions for conditional and unconditional jump, subroutine call and return, and restart instructions. So now let's we will start from the unconditional jump. In this instruction set, first instruction is the JMP jump address. So conditional jump to the instructions specified by the address. So what type of address you have to given? So you have to jump to that particular address. The addressing mode is the immediate addressing mode. Now this is the conditional jump. So jump, that is the address again. So that is the if we are talking about the conditional jump to the instructions specified by the address, if the specified condition is fulfilled. Suppose we have to also see in our further. Suppose you have to given the JZ, means jump if the result is 0. So that is, if you result is 0, then you can use this term JZ, and what type of address you have to given, then you have to jump on that particular address. This is also a immediating addressing mode. JNZ, jump no 0. So jump if the result is not 0. So that is also immediate addressing mode, and we can jump that particular address when your result is not 0, and if your result is 0, then you have to execute the normal routine. Another jump instruction is JC, that is the jump carry. So jump if there is a carry, and JNC is the jump if there is a no carry. So these two jump instructions are also moving to here, and there is, this is also, both of these two are also the immediate addressing mode. JP, so that is the jump result plus. So that is if you have to know jump if S is equal to, if you have to given the result is plus. So that is also you can use JM, jump if result is minus. So that is according to what type of result content are we are receiving, and according to that we have to given the instructions. uh, that is again a jump instruction is according to the even parity and odd parity bit. So JPE address, so jump if even parity, and JPO jump if odd parity bits. So the parity status P, that is equal to 1, and the parity status P, that is equal to 0. So that is the even parity and odd parity. According to that we have to use the jump instructions, and that is the immediate addressing mode. We can also work out in here. Now another one is the unconditional call. So first of all, there is a conditional and unconditional call. So this is a call address. So we can call the subroutine identified by the address, in which particular address there is written a subroutine program, and then you can call immediately that particular call that particular subroutine by giving the address to the call instruction. So that is basically we have to provide this. This is also immediate or register addressing mode. Another one is the conditional call instruction. So the call address. So basically, conditional and unconditional call. So unconditional call, the subroutine identified by the address if the specified condition is fulfilled. But when we are talking about the conditional call instructions, so where we have to give the particular conditions ki yes, at that particular conditions we can provide the, you have to apply that particular conditions for if either it if this result is this, so you can move to that particular positions. Now PCHL. What about the PCHL? So that is a jump address specified by the HL pair. So that is also register addressing mode, and we can use the PCHL. Now restart. So RST instruction set. Restart is a one word call instructions, and it is also a register indirect addressing mode. So there are so many restart instructions, and there is a RST0, RST1, RST2. So that is the instructions, and that is the opcode, and that is the restart locations. That is the based on that particular locations are given to that particular instruction set. Now we will switch to the problems in which we have to work out basically. So that is based on the what type of results, yeah, or you have to done the addition, subtraction. So how we can perform the basic results and how we can write the program in our 8085 system. So first of all, you have to give some data. According to that, suppose you have to given the two data 14H and 89H. So these are the hex codes. So generally, if we are talking about the 8085 system, we have to use our data are given in the hex code, and we have to particular hex code, we have to add that particular value. So how you can perform? So we have to also hex code means hexadecimal addition and subtraction will be performed according to that. So that particular location, suppose we have to given the 14H data will have to be stored in 3005 address locations, and in 89 hex code will be stored in the 3006 locations, and then we have to add both the values. So first of all, you have to load 300H data. Suppose HL points. So you have to load that address into the HL register pair. So LXI H300H means this address, particular address is load to the HL, because you have to store your one data into the 3005, and you have to store your another data into the 3006H. So first of all, you have to store your two datas in that two different addresses. So when you have to perform the addition, what you have to run there is we have also do a simple addition, move to A and register, but here we have to done the addition on the memory based addition. So in this type of programming, first of all we have to load our address to the HL register pair, and then what type of content, so that memory content is moved to the accumulator means M. So what about the M? So that is the M is the content of HL. What type of HL registers is contain that data will be moved to the read out by the memory location M, and that data will be shifted to the accumulator. Now INXH means at present our HL is a 3005 indicating that particular address, so you have to increment that value. So HL points the 3006, and now what will happens there after moving your pointer to the one forward, one byte forward, so that is a 3006. So now again you have to 3007 will be the incremented. So add M means what type of after increment the HL. So now our pointer is on the 3006 means if our we are using the M memory, then it will read the content of the 3006, and now that particular content will be added the content of the accumulator. And what is the content of accumulator? In accumulator the content of 3005 is stored. So now what will happens again, add M. So we have to done the addition of that two data, and result is again stored in the accumulator. Now again you have to increase the h, means our hl pointer will be again enhanced 1 point, and that will be moved to the 3007, and then accumulator content will be stored to the m. So what type of addition we have to required in add m, that will be, since it is in at present it is an accumulator, so that content will be shifted to the memory location, and at present hl pointer is 300h, so content of memory location will be stored in the 3007h. So that is our old programs, and after that our program will be closed, so we have to give the hlt instructions. So that is the, this program belongs to the, that you have to given the true data, and by using the memory you have to add these two types of data. So here we are working on the memory locations. So exchanging the memory locations, so write a program to exchange the data at 5000 m and 600 m memory location. So here is a basically how we can exchange the data. So we can again just little bit see the how we can write a program for this. So that is basically LDA. So first of all, you have to load so content of 500m location into the accumulator. So first of all, you have to load the content of 5000m into the accumulator, and now content of accumulator will be moved to the register B. So now in register B, the content of 5000m content will be stored in the register B. Now LDA, now you have to move the 600m memory locations, and content of this location will be again shifted into the accumulator, and what will happens STAM00M. So that accumulator content will store the content of accumulator at the address. So what type, so at present accumulator have a content of 600m, and now you have to store that content into the 500m. And now again what type of data which you have to store in B, now we will call it and send to the accumulator. So that is the instruction move B to A, means content of B will be shifted to the accumulator, and now STA instructions will store the content of accumulator to the 600m. In this way, we can exchange the data. Means what you have to done, you have to given the data. One data you have to given in 5000 locations, and one data you have to given the 600 locations. So now you will start from working. Uh, Data of 500m will be loaded to the accumulator, and then accumulator shift that data to the register B for, and save that data in the register B. Now again data of 600m will be loaded to the accumulator, and then that data will be stored to the 500m, and what data you have to store in register B is again called by the instructions, and that data will be shifted to the accumulator, and that will be stored to the 600 location. So in this way we can use the LDA and STA instructions for our shifting or exchanging of into the two different memory locations. Now, first of all, arrange numbers in an ascending order. So, first of all, you have to arrange the number ascending order, and write a program to arrange first 10 numbers from memory address 300h in the ascending order. So, MVI B09. So, initialize the counter start. What will happen? You have to arrange the number in ascending order. So, first of all, we have to first 10 numbers memory location. So, 09, suppose 09, then you have to load that data into the B. So in B register there is a 09, we have to load it. Now LXI HL300H means memory location, so there is a pointer 300H, this location will be loaded to the HL register pair. And now again MVIC09H. So initialize the counter by 2 back, and here we will 09 data code will be loaded to the C. So move what type of content M memory location, there is a content that will be shifted to the accumulator. So now you have to increment the H, your pointer will be shifted, and compare N. Compare the number with the next number. So what you have to compare? You have to compare what type of content or HL data are you have at present, that will be compared. And JC skip. If less, don't interchange. If equal, JZ skip. So that is indicate if equal, then don't interchange. And if is not equal or not less than, if less, you have to not interchange, and again compare equal, so you have to not interchange, otherwise your memory data will be sent to the D is our another storage devices, and accumulated data will be shifted to the memory location. Again, decrement the H, and what data you have to move to the D, you will move to the memory locations. So in this way, we can done the compare the two data less than or equal, and according to that you have to decrease the C. So what will happens here? 9. So here we have to move the initially 9 numbers in that for. So again we are decrement the C. So decrement counter, when you have to decrease J and Z back. If not 0, then you have to. So till now 0 to 9 you have to repeat that above process many times. Again, you have to decrease the B, decrement the counter one, and again you will check J and Z start. So again you have to, you are not receiving or not reach the 0, then your all process will be again start. And when you have to reach out to the 0, your process will be stop. So that is the our program in which, so that is the terminate of the program. So these process will be J and Z will be start again, from where we will start, and we will again read the next number, again decrement, again compare it, and then we will go move on. So these process will be repeated from 09 to the 9. Now here is another program for multiplying the two 8-bit numbers. So this is a multiplying two 8-bit numbers. So again there is a two addresses, 2050 and 2051, and result stored and address. So now what result you have to receive, that result must be stored in the address 3050 and 3051. So how you can make a program, and starting address of program is taken as the 2000. Okay, input data, you have to given the input data and memory address 2051 and 2050. So in that two particular locations, the input data you have to given is 07 and 43. After multiplication, you have received the data 01 and D5, and now what will happen is you have to store that data in that particular memory addresses which we have to given. So now we have to make the program. So first of all, we have to multiply our signals. After then we will store that. So multiply two bit numbers, so that start from here. We are taking adding the numbers 437 times in this example. So as the multiplication of two 8-bit numbers can be maximum of 16 bits, so we need register pair to store the result. So now we will see here LH LHLD, so 2050. So you have to store 2050 in L and 2051 H. So content of L and content of H will be stored in that particular. And then you have to exchange D to H and E to L. So DE register and HL register, you have to two registers, and move D to C. Content of D will be moving to the C. And now what will happens here? Again, MVID 00. So at least initially you have to move the D at the 00. So LXI H 000. So H is 00 and L is 00. So now DADD. So HL. So now what will happens? You have to again content of HL and content of D will be added. So after that, you can see here decrease DCRC, so there is a decrement of C, and J and Z, so that is the jump no zero. If zero flag zero, go to the 200A. And SHLD, so 3050. So you can again shifting these H content to the 30501. So you have to store that content into the different locations. So you have to done jump no zeros. Then if zero flag is zero, then you have to go to the 200 A positions, and after that HLT operations. So now explanation, registers used AHLCDE. So LHLD 2050 loads the content of 2051 in H and content of 2050 in L. So that is basically what we have to done. कि LHLD is the load content of, so there is a two addresses. 2050 loads the content of 51 in H and 50 in L content, and you have to exchange the content of H with D and content of L with the E, and after then content of D will be moved to the C. So we have to copy this content. So MBI D00 assigns 00 to the D, and LXI H, so you have to again initialize your LXI operations. Then DADD adds the HL content and D and assign the result to the HL content. And DCRC decrement C by 1, and JNZ 200A jumps the program counter to the 200A if 0 flag is 0. And SHLD stores the value of H at memory location 3051 and the 3050, and after then our programs will be HL. Now we have to add two 8-bit numbers. So program, write an assembly language program to add two 8-bit numbers stored at the address 2050 and address 2051 in 8085 microprocessor, and the starting address of the program is taken as the 200. So now we will start from here. Input data, you have to given the input data F9 3B. You have to take the 2051 and 2050, and output data, so there may be a carry bit. So you first of all write a some 2-bit numbers stored in this, and the micro starting address will be, so again we have to add two numbers. If there is a carry, then you have to, your output data will be reflected in this part. So how you can write a algorithm? So first of all, you have to load the first number from memory location 2050 to the accumulator, and move the content of accumulator to the register H. Load the second number from memory location 2051 to accumulator, and then add the content of register H and accumulator using ADD instructions and storing result at 3050. And carry generated is recovered using the ADC instructions and is stored at the next memory location, that is the 3051. So now we can write here. So first of all, you have to load the 2050 location. So first of all, we will load 2050, what type of content at that in the accumulator, and now that accumulator content will be moved to the H register pair. Now LDA second memory content 2051 is again loaded to, the content of that will be given to the accumulator, and then again add H, means what type of content in the H register that will be added to the accumulator content. And in this way, the content, what type of additions we have to remove, we have to require acquired, that will be shifted to the register L, and after then VIA, that is the 00. If there is any carry, so that ADCA, so what type of carry bit there is a, so according to that carry bit, or the content of that will be shifted to the H, and that HL content will be stored to the 3050, and this is the, so H content will be moved to the 30, L content will be moved to the 3050, and H content will be moved to the 3051, and after that our program will be closing. So that is the basic programs which we have to return for Now we little bit we have to move to the logical operations. So byte level logical operations. So and operations. So what we have to done here, first of all, and operations. And these operations are byte level operations. So and operations we have to given the command ANL. You and source and destination. So this instruction will perform a logical AND on the two operands and place the result in destination. So normally our destination is accumulator and source operand can be register, location in memory or immediate data. So both the source and destination values are of single byte size. So for example, move 39H data into the accumulator. Okay, so now move this data into the accumulator. ANL, so that is a basically ended with the 43H data. So now what will happen here, what you have to store the data in accumulator, and there we will move to that particular operation so that we can and operations you have to given. So you have A and B 00011011. So this is the A ended with the B. So that will be truth table of our AND operations. So you have to given the 39H and 4H. So you can write in terms of bits form, and after then these data will be ended, and now in accumulator there is a result of 01H. So same thing. Another thing is that if in accumulator you have to given the 32H data and you have to move 50H into the R4. So R4 is equal to 50H, and you can again apply the A and L and operations, both of them. So A ended with the R4. What type of data in R4? So suppose you have to provide in R4 50H. So now same thing is here in accumulator. You have a 32H. You can write in terms of bits, and in R4 you have a 50H data. So you can write this data in this way, and then you have to done the ended operations. And after then, what type of results you are achieving? It can be at present in the accumulator. Now same thing is here, we can also do the OR operations. So instructions ORL destination source. So this instruction performs a logical OR on the two operands and place the result in the destinations. The destination is normally the accumulator and the source operand can be a register. Any location in memory or immediate data. Both the source and destination values are of single byte size. So that is basically ORL destination. So logical OR operations we have to done on the two operands and place the result in the destination. So same thing is here. So now we will see how we can make a program. So first of all, move A. So you have to store 39S data into the accumulator, and after that you have done the ORL operation with the content of accumulator. So here A and B you have to given the data, and this is a truth table of our ORL operation, and your result will be 7BH. So that is the basic thing. Again, you have to move 32H and 50H data, and you have to again OR operation are done, and A is equal to 72H. So what type ORL? So OR operations will be performed, and your result will be stored in the accumulator. Now there is also a XOR operations. So instructions XRL destination source. So this instruction performs a logical XOR on the two operands and places the result in the destination. So there is also a logical XOR on the two operands. So the destination is normally the accumulator and the source operand can be registered. Any location in memory or immediate data. So there may be either it may be memory or immediate data. So both the source and destination value of the single byte size. So now we will see how we can perform the XOR operation. So first of all, you have to move your data 39H to the accumulator, and that data will be XOR operations with the 43H. So this is a content what we have to do here. So XRL A with the 43H. So this is the done. How you can done the XOR operations. In XOR operation, same bit 00 and 11 give the result high, and 01 and 10 will give the result 0. So we have done the 00111. So that is the XOR operations, and by using the XOR operation, now your result will be 7AH. Now second, move A 32H accumulator 32H, and move R4 50H register R4 that is equal to 50H. Now that is the XRL accumulator A 2432H ORed with 50H, and A is equal to 62H. So 32H, so that is equal to the, you have to given the data in terms of bit form, and 50H we have to given the data in the bit form, and you have to done the XOR operations, and now you will get A that is equal to 62H. And that is a complement operations instruction CPLA. So this instruction complements the content of register A, the accumulator, and the complementation change the 0 to 1 and 1 to 0 as we have to know. So what type of data are in accumulation? So it will be complement to that particular data of that system. So we can also do the complement functions. Suppose you have to given the 55x 55 data to the accumulator. So 55 is load moved to the accumulator, and you have done the CPL. So that is CPL will be suppose content of A that is equal to 0101. So that will be the 55H data, and it will be complemented, and then it will be converted into the 1010 A. So that is a A, and that is a result will be the AAH data, and again it will be stored in. You can store that data into the any. Now rotate and the swap operations. So the data in the accumulator can be rotated one bit in the left and right by rotate instructions, and the carry flag CY also can be included with the accumulator for rotate instructions. When accumulator alone is rotated, only 8 bits in the A register is rotated, and when carry flag also included, then 9 bits are rotated. So the swap instructions is used to interchange the lower and upper nibble of the accumulator, and when swap instruction is executed, the lower nibble of A register becomes the upper nibble, and upper nibble becomes the lower nibble. So that is the basically swap operations, how you can do the swap operations. Now there is instructions RLA. So accumulator contents are shifted on bit to the left, and A7 to the A0, A0 to the A1, A1 to the A2, and so on. So that's the basically this is a rotation mechanism. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So A0 to A7. So that is the basic rotation process. RLCA, content of accumulator with carry flag shifted one bit left. A7 to carry flag, and CY to A0. So A0 to A1, and so on. So that is basically how you can move. So that is the basic rotation. The content of accumulator. Okay, so RLC. So you have to depend on the carry flag. So A7 bit will be shifted to the carry flag. So 1 by, and carry flag bit will be shifted to the A0. With rotation of that particular. So according to the instructions RLC. Now RRA. So here that process will be the and now is will be the A7. So content of A0 to the A7 and A7 to the A6. So this is the basic graph which we have to make. So RLCA and RRA, that is the graph. Now RRCA, content of accumulator with carry flag shifted one bit right, and A0 to CY and CY to A7, A7 to A0. So that is a basically rotation of RRC. So that is the A0 bit will be shifted to here, and this will be shifted to here, and this will be shifted to in this place. So that is the A0 to CY and CY to the A7. And swap A, interchange the nibble of the accumulator. So you can also use these four will be shifted to these four. So that is a nibble wise operations will also be performed by using the swap. So now adding the two 8-bit numbers. So write a program to add data at 3005 and 3006H memory location and store the result at 3007H memory location. So now you have to given the 3005H 14H data and 3006H 89H X code data, and both the addition will be added and result will be stored into the 9DH. So now what will happens here? How you can write a program for this particular value? So we will see here LXI H 3005. So this particular location, so HL जो है points कर रहा है at present the HL content will be 3005 and move M to A. So what data of stored in 3005, so that data will memory data will be moving to the accumulator. Now you will increase the H. So your HL pointer will now indicate to the 3006. And if we are giving the add instructions, what type of data are in 3006, that will be added to the accumulator, and at present data or accumulator is the here. So we can again add it, again increase, and what data are stored in the add we have to move to the memory location, and this is the close. So that is also we have to working instead of using the move A to B registers, we have to work out on the memory locations as we have to already make a program. Now there is also a memory location, so we have to also see in this program. So you can also change the numbers, how you can store the data, how we can use these locations. So LDA, STA operations, how we can perform easily. Now there is again a, arrange your data in the ascending order, arrange your data in the descending order, and how you can make a program for this. So in this way we can see that there are so many objective questions are here. So at last we will conclude here the lecture that what about the basic features which we are opting? So in previous lectures and in this lecture we have studied about the so many instruction sets, and we have also used all these instruction set into our small programs, ki how we can do the arithmetic operations and how we can perform the logical operations for covering our all the instruction set into the basic program. So basically, if you are talking about the microprocessor system, so that is basically 40 pin ICs, and all these data are performed. So you can also make your programs in that particular microprocessor, and you can execute it. So in if you are talking about the microprocessor system, so you have to work out on the hex code all your data. So initially you will make a simple program, and then your all programs will be connected to the hex code, and that hex code will be entered to that your basic devices, and that it will be done the different operation. So you have to learn about the basic concept behind instructions, ki how these instructions will be shifted to the accumulator, what is the HL register pair, what is the M. So if you are talking about the M, so what about the M is a memory location. So which locations will M will indicate? So we have to know that the memory location M will indicate the HL, what type of content are included in HL register pair. That content will be read out by the memory, and then that content you have to shift to the register part accumulator, and that accumulator content will be shifted to the another register for safer side. And then you have to increase the H, means your HL pointer will be increases, and you have to indicate, means in HL register pair now the memory address will be different. And now next time when you are working on the M, means that will be read out the incremented content of HL, not the old content of HL. So by increasing the content of HL, you can use the another locations, you can take the data from another locations, and that data will be shifted to the accumulator, and after then we will you can perform the operations. So when we are working on the memory location, so first of all we have to little bit move our data to the register pairs, to the registers or register pair also for performing the operations. So that is the basic concept which you have to remember, ki how we can work out on the memory location. So very basic thing is that yes, you can work out on the registers very easily. Just move this and this, and you can add, multiply, subtract your data. But when you have to work out on the memory location, and in many programs you have to given the so many data in different memory locations, and you have to take the data from that particular memory location, then we can use that particular value. So here we can see that all datas are here. There is a subroutine, jump not. So if you have to execute for some time another program, so there is a again a you can jump to the different particular address. You have to give an address, in that particular address you have to jump, and you have to execute another sub program, and after then you have to return back to the your main program. So there is also a conditional and unconditional jump instructions. So by you have to clear your all concept behind these, ki when in which particular conditions you have to go to that particular subroutine. There is also given the call instructions, ki how you can call any type of subroutine. There is also emergency cases in which there is we have to given the interrupt signals, how we can use our interrupt signals in microprocessor. So this is all things which I have covered in our 2 or 3 lectures. And by proper study of these instructions, you can make a programs of our microprocessor. So in this today lecture we have only used the very basic programs of our microprocessor, so that you can learn the basic concept, ki how we can use the registers and how we can use the memory locations. There is also a rotation, ki how you can rotate the left and how you can rotate the right of your system. So that is the all things. Now we will see the some objective questions. So there is a microprocessor instruction. So that is a basically what type of instructions, how you can judge transfer instruction, operation instruction, control instruction. So that is a you have to define all these things. Push and pop instructions also we have to store in our memory. So we have to also use our data transformation. So memory stake, how we can use this, the control instruction, jump, branch, skip. So all these instructions you have to study properly, so that you can attempt these objective questions. There is a register mode, we have to also define the different types of address registering mode, addressing mode, okay, how you can direct addressing, register addressing, indexed addressing, then you can do in all this way. Address of a location of operand is calculated by adding the content of any of the base register with the content of any of the index. So that is all the things you have to cover all things properly, then it will be better if you have to work out in proper way. So instruction that pushes the general purpose register, pointer and index register onto the stack. So how you can use the stack registers, that will be all. objective questions. You can also have to know what type of addressing mode we are working and what is the basic theme of our addressing mode. So you can do in very late what is the pop, what is the push instructions. So in next further lectures we will also cover some important instruction push pop, and so we will start these instructions by making some small programs, then it will be clear to you much better. So okay, thank you.